Today we are learning about working overtime, loadings, and other bonuses that you can receive. So if you are an employee who works overtime, which means that you spend extra hours of work at work on top of your normal shift, then you may receive extra pay at a higher rate for the time that you work beyond your normal hours. So some types of overtime rates include what's called time and a half. Now, time and a half is the same as saying 1.5 times the normal hourly rate. So if you got paid $20, half of 20 is 10. So if you add that on, you get paid $30. 1.5 times, $30 per hour. If you get double time, then that's 2 times. You double your hourly rate of pay. Double time and a half means 2.5 times your normal hourly rate of pay. Okay, so that's one way that usually a person who works on a wage, ways of getting bonus or extra pay. On top of that, there are special loadings or bonuses that can be made to an employee. A loading can take the form of an additional payment to the normal hourly rate. It may be for working in a difficult or unpleasant condition. So if you were cleaning the windows on the skyscrapers in Sydney and you were working at a very dangerous height, they may pay you extra money for the danger that you're putting yourself in at working on those windows. That's just an example. Another type of extra pay is a bonus. A bonus can be paid to an employee and it can take several forms. Most bonuses are percentages of the salary or of the company's profits. So if they want to incentivize the employees to achieve a certain goal, they might say, if you achieve this certain thing, then we will give you a bonus in your pay, a percentage of what was earned. So let's have a try of these questions. Example number 1, calculate the following overtime payments. So somebody is working 4 hours at time and a half. So remember, time and a half is 1.5, and their hourly rate of pay is $11.45. So what we do is we times all that together. They work 4 hours times by time and a half, so that's your 1.5, times by $11.45. It doesn't matter the order you multiply them in. If you go 4 times 11.45 times 1.5, you will get the exact same result. So this is $68.70. In part B, we have someone working 6 hours at time and a half. So time and a half, that's our 1.5. And they work 2.5 hours of double time. So double time is when you times by 2. And their hourly rate of pay is the $15.60. So there are 2 things that needed to be added together here. The time and a half pay was 6 hours times the 1.5 for time and a half times their hourly rate, which was $15.60. So that's the time and a half pay. Then I want to add to that the double time pay. They did 2.5 hours of double time when their hourly rate was $15.60. So if you like, you could put brackets around this first part. So that's their time and a half pay plus this second one is their double time pay. You don't need the brackets, they don't change the calculation, but it just shows you the 2 parts that you are adding together. That makes a total of $218.40. Question 2. Calculate Harry's weekly wage in a week where he works 38 hours at $18.40 per hour. So that would be his normal pay, no overtime, just 38 hours at $18.40. So you would times them. You go 38 hours times $18.40. But then we have a second little sentence here. Then it says, plus he works 3 hours at time and a half. So I need to add to that 3 hours. Time and a half means times 1.5, and I times that by the hourly rate of pay, which is $18.40. So we have normal pay here, and this is the overtime pay that I'm adding to it. Altogether, that makes a total of $782. Question 3. Jake is paid $976.60 for a regular 38-hour week and time and a half for overtime. So if this is his total amount for the week, that's not an hourly rate, that's how much he's getting paid for the whole week. If I want to find his hourly rate, I need to divide. So 976.6 or 60, and I'm dividing that by the 38 hours that he worked, which means that he is getting paid $25.71 an hour. Part B. How much is he going to get paid for 5 hours of overtime? And remember that his overtime is time and a half. So he gets 5 hours times 1.5 times his hourly rate, which was the $25.71 that we worked out. That is $192.83. Part C, what is his gross wage, which means his total wage, for a week where he works 43 hours? So remember that he worked 38 hours and got paid the $900 and whatever dollars. Then he did an extra 5 hours of overtime. 38 plus 5 does make the 43. So all I'm wanting to do here is add together the two types of pay. He had $976.60, which was his normal pay. And then I worked out that he got $192.83 in overtime. That is a total of $1,169.43. Question 4. Cecil is an industrial cleaner and is paid at a rate of $17.85 per hour. If Cecil works with toxic substances, he is paid a loading of $3.25 per hour. So calculate Cecil's pay for a week where he works 42 hours in total. But 14 of those hours were with toxic substances. So for working 42 hours, he would get 42 times by the $17.85. That would be normal pay for 42 hours of work. But he is getting an extra loading, which means I want to add on the extra part that he's going to get, which is going to be $3.25 for all of his hours that were worked with toxic substances. So he worked 14 hours times the $3.25. That makes $795.20. Question 5. Jeremy works as a business manager and is paid a normal rate of $15.70 per hour for a 36-hour week. So first of all, calculate his pay for a normal weekly wage. So this is going to be 36 hours times the $15.70. So that makes $565.20. Now, for his 4 weeks annual leave, Jeremy is paid a loading of 17.5%. Calculate the amount that Jeremy receives in holiday loading. 17.5% means 17.5 out of 100. And we want 17.5% of, which means times, by his weekly pay, which was $565.20. Now that would work out his loading for 1 week, but it says here that he gets 4 weeks of annual leave. So I would also times that by 4 so that it's for all 4 weeks. That is a total of $395.64. Part C, calculate the total amount that Jeremy receives for his 4 weeks of annual leave. So he gets the $565.20 for 1 week. I would need to times that by 4 so that it's for 4 weeks. Plus, he's going to get his loading, which we worked out was $395.64. So altogether, he gets $2,656.44. And that's it for our lesson today.